Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet, and we are here. It is the grand final of the HomeStory Cup number 7, and these players have been through absolute hell to get here. Down the bottom left side, we do have our blue Terran player, TaeJa, and up the top right side, we do have our red Zerg player, Snute. And let's have a look at the semi-finals for just a quick sec. Snute, man, is not, he got there by the skin of his teeth, I think. He lost the first two games against Hyun, and then he came back, and it was just all roach play all day, but managed to win the third, fourth, and fifth games out of a best of 5 to push onwards to the grand final. So congratulations on him of getting back into it after losing the first two games. And yes, this is the first time in this tournament that he has, well, alright, the first time in the series we've cast that he's had to face somebody who's not a Zerg player. He's faced Stefano and then Hyun, which were both Zerg, but now he's going to be facing TaeJa, and he is a Terran player, so let's hope his TVZ is as good as his ZVZ. And down the bottom left, it is going to be TaeJa, and he has faced all sorts so far in this tournament. He's faced Seed, a Protoss player, in the quarter final, and in the semi-final he faced off against TLO. And he showed some definite skills in there. The third and fourth game though, TLO really hit back hard, did some awesome plays, and TaeJa just he got a little bit shaky going against the awesome plays of TLO, the Roach Hydra and then the Mutiling, but he came back with a really awesome strategy in game 5. I believe it was Hellbat Marauder, a combination of Hellbats and Marauders going in, and it really worked well against TLO in the early mid game. So we're going to see exactly how he does. We know that TaeJa knows how to win against a Zerg player, but Snute, man, Snute is definitely going to be an awesome player. I can't say whether or not he's better than TLO, but he's definitely further along in the tournament, so it is definitely going to be a challenge for TaeJa no matter how you look at it. And what have we got going on here? It's a very early, actually it's a 14 hatch, I think. 14 hatch, yeah, that seems about right. So I can't remember if Snute went for this build in the semi-finals. Probably did. Or maybe a pull first. They seem to swap every single game, like they go for a different build depending on what their opponent went for the last build. It's all over the place, but Snute going for a barracks before command center and getting that Reaper up, so pretty standard play. The command center is a little bit early, but it's not as early as he was. I think he was doing some really crazy builds in the semi-finals, going in for command center first and stuff like that against TLO, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but now he's going for a little bit of a safe route but still getting the command center out fairly fast. So Snute is going to have the economic advantage here, and the Reaper not really doing a whole lot, forcing some lings to come out, but I think those lings were coming out anyway. Every single pro Zerg player I've seen tends to get 4 lings out, or at least 2 lings, as soon as they get the pull out, just for just to be safe. And I mean, there's really no harm in doing it, because 4 lings really doesn't make a huge difference. The danger is if you've got no lings and then a Reaper comes in and suddenly you build 10 lings to defend it, then that's kind of just overdoing it a little bit. So yeah, definitely building the 4 lings by default, and it's all good. And we have got a very fast armory going down here for TaeJa, man. He is obviously going for Hellbats, I'm gonna say. I can't believe that he'll be going, yeah, there we go, the starport. So we're going for the Hellbat drop in this game. This Reaper doing an excellent job, man. He's not really killing that much, but he's getting his scout on all over the place. He's seen the early third, and yeah, we are going to see if TaeJa can do the damage he needs to do with these Hellbat drops when they come out. And it all comes down to Snute. Will he be able to get the workers out of the way quickly enough? Because if you move workers away really quickly, like right on the ball, then you take minimum damage for the Hellbats because they're so slow. But if you slack off moving the workers, man, like it could wipe out all of these guys in like 5 seconds. Here we go, the Hellions coming in. but with a couple of Evo chambers forming up a nice little gate, they are going to get chased away. And these guys are just keeping the pressure up. They're not really aiming to do a lot of damage. It's just, yeah, mainly pressure play here. 4 Hellions may be able to snipe a Queen if Snute starts slacking off, but probably not. But yeah, they are keeping this third base cut off. And here we go, going in full bore. Managing to take out 1 Queen, taking out another Queen. They did lose 1 Hellion doing that, but taking out 2 Queens and losing 1 Hellion is definitely going to be good. And right now he's just taking care of this base. He does not want drones to come over here. He does not want Queens to come over here. And Snute is not able to take advantage of this very early base right now. And his troubles are just going to increase when the Hellbats come over, because he's actually 2 Queens lost and he's got the other 2 Queens down here. So he does not have any spare Queens. He's only got 2 Queens total. There's no Queens really protecting it, but he has gone for a Spore Crawler here, Spore Crawler there, so he's expecting a drop, or maybe he's just being a bit safer. So yeah, this drop is going to do lots of damage, but he does get the Hellbats down, and the Hellbats going to be roasting quite a lot of stuff. This guy's in a great position. He's eventually going to lose, but how many kills has this guy got? I think it was 4 or 14, I can't remember which one, but it was still quite a decent job. But the Roach is starting to come out from Snute. He's starting to get exactly what he needs to counter the Hellbats, the Hellion Harass, all that other good stuff. And yeah, we are going to be moving into the mid-game in this game. So, going to be very, very awesome. Medevac managing to survive there, so great job by him. And beautiful, beautiful intercept. I suppose they had the watchtower so they can see that guy coming. Roach is going to come down, and yeah, I don't know if these guys are in a good position to deal with it. The Terran player really needs to get something else going down. He's getting a 3rd command center. So yeah, the tiny bit early for Terran, but still okay considering how much pressure he's been doing. He can afford to get the command center this beautiful time. And look at this Hellbat army, man. No upgrades and Marauders as well. So this is the Hellbat Marauder composition that we saw in the final game versus TLO, and it worked an absolute treat versus Roaches, because of course Hellbats provide the screen and they do a bit of damage, and Marauders just finish off the Roaches. He really needs to buff up his Marauder numbers a little bit more, because Snute can build a ton of Roaches, and I'm not sure how many Roaches he actually has. 7, okay, so maybe I'm talking him up a little bit. If he had a lot more Roaches than that, he might be in trouble, but with only 7, yes, he's definitely going to lose this base. And TaeJa, man, one of the things he does so well is just locking down the expansions. He lets the 1st and the 2nd base go, and then he hits the 3rd base, and he hits the 4th base, and he hits them, and he hits them, and he keeps them from getting up too hard. And he's just been doing a great job doing this so far, and he's going to continue to do that. Although his army is going to be mostly taken out here. Manages to survive though. He's going to run straight over there and maybe do a bit of harassment. He's still got 1 Hellbat. No, he's just got 2 Marauders and a Reaper. So not going to be able to do too much versus the Lings, and the Lings running through, and now our Terran player has got to be worried about protecting his own 3rd base. You can see he's getting the forces up. He's got 1 siege tank, but it's not quite in range to defend this thing. Just in range when they come through there. But he's going to be worried about the splash damage. And here we go. Bunch of Baneleys coming out. He's got to lock these down nice and quickly, and that's exactly what he does. Although they don't do that much damage to Marauders anyway. And yeah, Snute's just forced to back off, but he has managed to get his 4th/3rd base up, and he's going to build the other one. So yeah, nice bit of offensive play. Didn't really intend to do anything other than keep the Terran player back on the back foot, but Terran player's going forward again. He's got 1-1 so far, so great job on the upgrades. He's got 2-2 on the way and level 1 vehicle weapons, and he's switched over to a more typical Marine Marauder force, still with a fairly beefy chunk of Marauders, and this 1 Reaper who's got 9 kills. He's been around since the Stone Age. And the Zerg, meanwhile, is pushing into a bit more Baneling play. He's decided not to go for Roaches too much. He's still got Roaches, but he's definitely upgrading the Banelings rather than the Roaches. And this is the great counter for Triple M. It is, of course, Banelings with Baneling speed. And once he gets the creep all over the place, the Terran player will be in a lot of trouble. He's doing some beautiful splits here, but there's just so many Banelings, and these 2 Marauders and this one over here are going to be the last ones left. They're going to take out this Queen, but with Lings coming out, Marauders are very, very bad versus Lings. They just do not do what they need to do, and if they manage to get surrounded, they are going to be screwed. So they're going to have to jump into the medevac, get the hell out of there. You can see the Spore Crawler coming up, so yes. Snute is not going to be able to be fooled by the drop again. But what is he doing over here? He's just scouting around. These forces moving in. They do not know about this massive amount of lings coming in. The gate is open, and they're going to go for the gate. Will he? Yeah, just gets the gate up in time. So great reaction timing there by TaeJa. Not worried about his army, just got the gate up, exactly what he needed to do. And these couple of siege tanks are just going to scare him away because they do not want to move into the third base with these siege tanks in potential range. They're just going to pull back, and meanwhile, this Terran army just doing a push in there. Managed to snipe the hatchery right at the last second. Great job there by TaeJa, man. He is definitely doing what he needs to do in this game. And I'm going to say that he is in the lead right now. He's taken out a couple of hatcheries. Snute has done an awesome job of getting them back up, man, but 3 base Zerg onto 3 base Terran. If we have a look, the Zerg is only 9 workers ahead. That's still a decent amount. But we can see that TaeJa knows how to get his economy up, and yeah, he's moving it again. Zerg got the watchtower, but they're all going to get wiped out, and his creep spread in terms of protection, this 4th base is not good at all. So the Banelings not going to be as effective as they possibly could be. It's going to leave him out a little bit, but he doesn't really have the Marine Marauder forces to protect him, and all the tanks are going to get wasted. The Banelings do not want to hit the tanks, they want to hit the Marines, and look at that, man, just a massive army of Banelings, and we can see the fungal growth going down as well. Fungal growth plus Banelings, just exactly what he needs to do to completely shred this Terran force. And he's continuing to push out, constantly pushing out. He really wants to take out this base. And the Zerg has used up most of his forces for now, so he's going to have a little bit of trouble taking these guys out. And the Terran has a possibility of taking this base down again. And there we go, cancelling at the very last second. Great play there from Snute. And yeah, Snute is on the back foot right now. He had a perfect viewing composition, but the Terran player, man, the harassment on the bases has just been doing so well. And yeah, he's doing a great job here. They're in amongst the siege tanks though, so he manages to take them out with all of these guys, losing a minimal amount, and the infestors are in danger here of being taken out. Getting a very nice fungal, takes out 2 of the medevacs actually. And Snute back up against the wall, and he is going to give the GG. So game number 1, TaeJa pushing it out with the Marine tank. He was transitioning all over the place. First it was Hellbats, then Hellbats Marauders, then typical Triple M, and then he stopped getting the Marauders so much and he started transitioning into tanks. And look at this, 1-1 upgrades on the tanks, 2-2 on the Marines. So he's definitely getting the upgrades up as he needed to, although the Roaches, I think the Roaches had 2-2 as well. No, there's 2-2 on the Banelings, sorry. The Roaches didn't have any attack. But yeah, really great job from both players. But TaeJa just constantly transitioning his army composition into exactly what he needed. As soon as he saw that Triple M wasn't working against the Banelings, he got out the tanks. And he just pushed the tanks so hard, getting the vehicle weapons. He already got 1-1, he was getting 2 vehicle weapons out. And yeah, that is exactly what he needed to do. And by far, just one step ahead every single part of the game, TaeJa, man. He maybe not one step ahead, but he took the steps he needed to take really fast. I mean, and he got his economy really good. So as soon as he saw Banelings, bam, switching over to tanks. And as soon as you saw Roaches transitioning into a lot of Lings, bang, he started to get Marines out again. So great play there by TaeJa, and he is going to be 1 game up versus Snute, and really strong showing here by TaeJa, and I'll be very excited to see what happens in game number 2, if TaeJa can just continue to take this on a roll, or if Snute can start to hit back. And yeah, this is going to be a best of 7 series, so we're going to be looking forward to a lot of awesome TVZ games in this series. And this has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this first game, and I'll catch you guys in game number 2.